welcome back to my YouTube channel and happy 5 months old, little one. Are you 5 months old today? I can't believe that she's 5 months old today, but with that I thought I would do a reflection on how the past month has been for both little Heidi and me. I know that I'm going to look back on these videos and think that she was so teeny and tiny now, because before you know it you're going to be a year old. And that's petrifying. So I normally ramble on in this video, so I'm going to try and keep this down as much as possible. Let's dive straight in, shall we? So one of the first things that happened this month, and I think it was actually like only a few days into being 4 months old, she does not enjoy being in her carry cot attachment in the pram. She's laying face down and all she wants to do is be sat up or standing up as much as she can. So lying down she just hates. She gets so irritated, and me and my mum went shopping, and when we did she was just literally crying her eyes out, like screaming, because she didn't like being laid down. As soon as I picked her up she was fine. I knew she wasn't hungry because we had just fed her in a calf. She just wanted to be stood up, so that was quite annoying because I ended up having to actually carry her for the rest of the shopping trip, but my mum thought it was quite good because she had a really glorified trolley in the form of her pram, but I just had to hold her. So that was so annoying because we have such a cute like pram set, and now she's not in the carry cot set at all. So we're luckily able to use the car seat with adapters for the pram. It came with that in the set that we got. So we're using that because she's slightly sat up, she can still face me, and it's a bit better. I know you shouldn't let them be in the car seat too long, but we never like go for walks at like hours and hours and hours, so she's absolutely fine in it, and I can obviously see how she is. So we're having to use that for the moment, which is annoying because honestly the pram set we got was gorgeous, and I thought she'd be in it a little bit longer, but she didn't want to be, so that's what we're having to do first of all. The next thing as well to talk about is that we had to have a trip to the doctors, which was quite worrying, because this one woke up really red in the face, like a rash. It was red raw, it was blotchy, and it was really bad, wasn't it, Bubba? And even now it's still kind of sore and dry, but basically she has eczema on her face. It's not on any other part of her body, thank goodness, but with that means that we now have to apply creams daily. So we have a moisturising double base one and then a steroid one for when it's really bad, that we can only apply once a day because her skin is so young and so fragile that you don't want to basically overdo it with that. So that's helping us keep on top of it, but honestly that morning I just panicked. You just think of meningitis, don't you? I put a glass to it and it didn't quite disappear, and I just panicked and we went to the doctors, but thankfully all was okay. They saw us the same day and they put our mind at ease. And sometimes I think depending on the weather, whether it's cold outside then warm inside, you know, you just never know what the weather's going to be like, so I think that just really irritates your skin, doesn't it? Sorry about that, you get that from me because I used to have quite delicate skin as well. So the next thing is that she has had her final jabs now until she's 1, thank goodness. I hate the jabs so much, don't you? And so do you. She was thankfully okay when she had them. The nurses this time were really, really good. It was 3 that they have to have in total, so she had 1 in one leg and 2 in the other, but the nurses did them all in one go, so it was just like double whammy, which must be horrible, but at least it got it done really quickly, and so that was good, wasn't it? We brought Nanny along because I can't go to them on my own, but she was really, really poorly that night. I mentioned, and I actually vlogged the day that she had her first set, and she was really, really poorly then, and she was really poorly this time as well. I think it's because they have like a meningitis one then that can actually react differently in all babies, but that's what actually makes them feel quite poorly. Nurses said it was absolutely normal, just to make sure that she has lots of cuddles and kisses basically. You can give them paracetamol in the form of Calpol beforehand. We actually didn't because Calpol seems to make her feel worse, but she was okay. She managed to sleep it off, and the next day she was absolutely fine. So thankfully that's it until year 1 now, isn't it? But they are horrible, honestly. The next point I put is that her appetite has lessened a little bit, and probably a sign of teething. We definitely saw dips within the last month of how she didn't want to eat much, then she wanted to eat lots, and now at the moment she's in the phase where she just wants to eat lots. I think that's to do with a growth spurt as well. See, she just doesn't keep still. She's just always on the move, aren't you? You just want to stand up all the time. But yeah, she had a bit of a week where her appetite wasn't itself. She wasn't finishing bottles, which is really unlike her. She's a chunky girl and loves her food. But yeah, I think it was just a sign of teething. No tea for through just yet. But the same symptoms that I mentioned in my last update are still consistent. So I think it's just a bit of a process and we're just waiting for them to cut through basically. But I don't know when that will be. Doesn't seem any like immediate signs, but she's just always chewing and always wants something in her mouth. But teething toys, she's not interested in because they don't give her anything. She loves her hand, she loves her thumb now. She's discovered that, which is cool. Haven't you? So I don't think it'll be long until her first tooth has come, but as always, I'll keep you updated in these monthly updates on when that does cut through, and I'm sure I'll post it on my Instagram. So if you're not following me already, it's just @blondeamy, and yeah, keep up to date with us on there because I just love sharing loads and loads of different photos of her. This month as well, we've really noticed that she's beginning to recognise people and also not recognise people. So my sister came home from uni and she just did not recognise her. I think that they say baby's memory is about 2 weeks at this stage. So anyone that she's not seen within that 2-week time frame, she's not familiar with, and with that she doesn't like being held by people she doesn't know, and obviously she always wants to see me or Rich in some capacity to make sure that she knows that she's okay. So with that, she's beginning to really recognise certain people. So people she knows, like my parents, Rich's parents, us obviously, she's very familiar with, very comfortable. But my sister, she wasn't too sure on. One of my bestest friends came over, she wasn't too sure because, again, it's just recognition, isn't it? Actually, my friend Lucy, she just always cries when she sees her. It's quite funny. I don't know why, because she was like one of the first people that actually met Heidi. But it's just quite funny and it's quite interesting to see how she reacts to different people. But you're just beginning to see this sense of awareness really develop in her, which is really cool actually. I mentioned before, and I kind of mentioned just then, that at the moment she is putting everything in her mouth to kind of chew on it. Everything but teething toys actually. Like normal toys she loves to chew on. If she's got like a fluffy teddy or something, she'll have it in her mouth. But teething toys she's just not that interested in. And before she wasn't that explorative with things in her mouth, but now she really is. Again, that could be a sign of teething or just a natural development point to make, but she's definitely a lot more aware of like her mouth and different textures in her mouth, and she's very, very good with picking things up and putting them in her mouth, which is great because obviously we'll start weaning soon, which I'm so excited to start that part of the journey. Not excited for the nappies, but I'm really excited to see what food she likes, what food she doesn't like, and have that just part of our daily routine because she is showing such an interest in food at the moment, and I just can't wait to see what she's like with different foods and different textures and things like that. She has actually tried little bits of fruit already, because it was a really hot day and she had a bit just more for like the juice within it, and she loved it. So I think that it's going to be such a fun part of our journey together, and I'm definitely going to do more vlogs around that because I'm just so excited to document it as well. If you're not familiar with her sleeping pattern at night, then she sleeps through the night and we don't normally have any problems. At night she is her easiest, which is the best thing, honestly, it makes the world a difference. But we did have this one particular night where she was up crying until 2 o'clock in the morning, which is really out of character, and nothing seemed to calm her down, like food, stripping her off, anything like that, just wasn't seeming to help. Looking back in hindsight, what are you doing? In hindsight, I basically just think it was a case of the room being quite hot. We had really weird weather where it was like really cold one day, really hot the next. And I think that it was a combination of it being quite hot in the room. She was a bit unsettled and didn't feel quite right. And we managed to get her to sleep by like stripping her off, and she didn't actually sleep with any blankets on or anything. But that was a really hard night. I think because she sleeps through the night so well, you don't expect those kind of nights, which sounds silly, I know, but you don't expect it. So it really hit hard on me and Rich that night because I was getting frustrated, Rich was getting frustrated, she was getting frustrated. That doesn't make for a good household, I tell you that. But thankfully she ended up being okay, and it was just like one time. We had a few nights where she's gone to sleep a little bit later because she's just been a bit upset, and I vlogged a couple of days ago where she did just that. She was just screaming and screaming until she actually just clogged out for the night. But we have just had a few of those nights, but they only seem to be few and far between, and it seems to be weather related, honestly. When I look at the patterns, that's only the real thing that's changed. Her routine stays the same every day, so that's the only thing I can think of. Obviously she has gone through, like, she's grown quite a lot, so physically she's changing quite a lot. I know that she had like her 4-month sleep regression, but we've not really seen any symptoms of that other than not sleeping in the day, which is something I touched on in that vlog as well. So if you haven't watched that, just watch that, because it shows you how little she naps in the day. In terms of feeding, I mentioned that I'm going to be weaning off of pumping, and we've almost made that transition now. So there's not long left until she's fully on just formula, and which is going to be such a relief for me. But she has taken to formula really well. We've seen no differences in the way that she is or the way that she sleeps or anything like that, which is great. So yeah, she's basically having almost all feeds formula. The only time that she's having breast milk still is like the last feed at night or the first feed of the morning, depending on how much I pump during those times, because I'm still pumping twice a day. So she's having basically a bottle a day of breast milk until my milk supply completely stops. And with the drinking more formula means her poops have changed a lot. Haven't they? Haven't they? You got smelly poopies now. Have you? They are much thicker and smellier and grosser. I swear, honestly, when she had just breast milk, her poops smelt really sweet, and I always said that they smelled like porridge, which is weird, but you'll know what I mean if you also breastfeed. But her formula poops are disgusting. They really, really stink. And it's more often as well that she's pooping. That's because breast milk, there's not a lot of waste in it, whereas formula, there is a lot more that they basically get rid of. But that's just not been a pleasant thing for us, but you get through it, don't you? I mean, they would change anyway once we started feeding her, so it's just one of those things. Okay, so I've just put her down in her bumbo, but can you just see how active she is and how much she wants to stand up and explore? She's just so wriggly, which makes it really hard to sit down and do videos. If you do hear her playing, she's just down here. There's not that much to get into, and the last couple of things for her, I kind of mentioned this, but she's showing such an interest in food already. When I'm eating, she stares at me. When I chew, she like laughs and she just smiles, and it's so cute, and I'm just so excited to start the weaning journey. I know I keep saying it, but I think it's going to be so much fun for her and for us as well. So I'm going to think of a little plan. I don't really know how I'm going to do it. I think we're going to do a combination of both baby-led and spoon-led as well, because I think both of them have their benefits, and just doing a bit of a mixture, I think, just to see what she likes. But yeah, I'm so excited to start that. And lastly for her, there's a massive milestone that she achieved this month, and she is rolling now back to front completely every time we put her down, which makes it even harder to do anything, because before you could like put her down on the change mat, run in the kitchen, do a bottle, run back out, she was fine. Now she's not. She's rolling all over. You literally close your eyes for a second and she's rolling over. As soon as you put her down, she's trying to roll over, which is great to see how kind of forward she is with it, and she's just absolutely moving like crazy, which means I think she's not going to be that far from crawling. She's discovering her legs and she's kind of flapping everything but doesn't quite know how to move them in coordination with each other. But I don't think it's going to be long, so as soon as she starts crawling, I think I'm going to have my work cut out. It's also made us notice as well, our downstairs is completely like, it's like hard flooring, so there's no carpets downstairs, which is really annoying because now she's so movie. I'm just so aware that the floors are quite hard. So let me know if you have hardwood flooring and how you kind of get over that, because it's a real worry for me. We have like rugs and stuff, but the majority of the floor is still kind of exposed. So just let us know what you do. I'm not quite sure how to tackle that one. She's also now in her jumperoo, which I am so happy about because we can put her in and I can actually make a cup of tea. She loves it because she stood up as well. and it's really trying to initiate the kind of self-play. She wants entertaining 24/7, so things like the bumbo seat as well as the jumperoo are brilliant because there's things there that she can entertain herself with, and it just buys you, even if it's just 10 minutes to have a hot cup of tea, it makes the world of difference. And I'm just so happy she's in that because it's so cute. But again, the first time she was in that I did vlog, and so check back on that video, that was only a few videos ago. And now on to how I'm doing 5 months postpartum, and I can't believe it's been 5 months since I gave birth. I would just do it all over again. I keep thinking this time last year I felt like this, or I was this, and I just cannot wait to do it all over again. I know it sounds silly because she's growing and growing, but it's made me realise that I'm just so excited to do all of these things again and properly like enjoy pregnancy and enjoy the birth as well. I was so nervous for that, but next time around I think that I'll be less nervous because I'll kind of know what to expect in terms of the outcome. The process, I don't even know what I'd do the next time, but I just can't wait to relive it all again, which is crazy. I know that I shouldn't be thinking that so close to when I had her, and it's not going to be for a few years yet, but it just makes me excited that we're going to do it all over again. We know that for sure. We definitely want one more. I would love 3, but I think Rich would love 2, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But how I'm doing, I've kind of mentioned that I've begun already to wean off of pumping a little bit, and I'm going to make a dedicated video on how I did it, because the way that I intended to do it and the way that I actually did it were 2 very different things, and totally by accident, but it seems to have worked well for us. So first of all, I dropped down to 4 pumps a day, and now I'm on just 2. So I just pump now morning and night, more so just to keep up a slight supply so that she has a bottle of breast milk a day. I think I could very easily stop, and I'm going on a night out on Saturday, which I'm so excited about. My first night out since I was like before I was pregnant, which I'm very, very excited about, and I'm going to be such a cheap night out because I haven't drunk in so long. But it means that I can go out and I don't have to worry about pumping and stuff, which is my biggest thing. I didn't mind doing it when I could do it, but it just really put a time restraint on everything. So I'm so happy to have like that freedom for myself as well, which is fine. I think because we've seen how great she is on formula, it's put our mind at ease that this was the right decision for me as much as her. And I'll talk more about that process in a separate video. I have made some notes here, but this video is already so long I can tell. And the best thing that happened this month, I'm just so excited to share this with you. I'm in my pre-pregnancy clothes. I say that, I'm wearing my pyjama bottoms as I film this video, but I now fit in my pre-pregnancy jeans, which, hallelujah, I'm so happy about, because I was wearing my maternity jeans for ages, but they were way too big. Because my bump got so big, they just really grew. I tried to tumble dry them a little bit, but it just didn't work. So I'm now back in my pre-pregnancy jeans. They do up. When I sit down, they're not the most comfortable thing, but I think that just gives me a bit more motivation to keep losing the weight, really. But it just proves that I have gone down so much, because when I was at my biggest, it was huge, and now I'm back in pre-pregnancy clothes, which is amazing. And especially now it's coming to nice weather, I fitted in like a pair of shorts that I wore those in when we went to Florida, actually, when we got engaged in 2017. So I just feel so much more myself by the fact that I'm in my old clothes. My wardrobe options have like expanded so much because I'm now in those clothes again, which I'm so happy about, because maternity clothes, I mean, I was tight and didn't buy too many because I knew that I wouldn't be in them that long. But looking back, I think I wish I got a few more options, because I really, really struggled, especially towards the end, in things that I was comfortable in. So yeah, that happened this month. I'm so happy about that. And I think that's everything, actually. She's playing with my slipper. I swear you give them like all the toys in the world, all they want to do is play with like your things. But that's it from us. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are doing well as well if you are also approaching 5 months postpartum. How quickly does this time go? I know I mention that in every video and I say that all the time, but it's gone so quick, and I can't believe that in a month's time I'll be doing her 6-month update, and that's halfway to a year old, which is mental. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here, or if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.